What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Unreal Engine 5 game development live stream. Where we're back in our Deck Knight project, a game built from scratch using Unreal Engine 5, C++, blueprints, the gameplay ability system plugin, and all of that good stuff. So today we're going to be working on some more of our low-level damage pipeline architecture because while working on the parry mechanic, I kind of realized what I have. It's not very good, not very scalable, but at least we got the parry mechanic to work. We parry, successful parry, bam, cool. But I found that when I'm doing hits and stuff, he's able to hit me and get callbacks for his stuff only when I'm performing a hit, which we know is not very good. So we need to fix that. So we have a lot of runtime errors as well. So things are kind of a mess, but one thing at a time. So we're going to start with our damage pipeline. We're going to start with the hit events and everything that we need. Hey, Sobe King, how's it going? Thanks for popping in. So I compiled over the course of last week a bunch of stuff that I wanted to do for the damage pipeline technical design. I started off with the data that I would kind of want to have, which is a weak object pointer to our target, an instigator, tag containers for our target tags, instigator tags, our struct for hit results, additional context tags, an optional source object, and potentially a timestamp. I kind of ran through some ideas through ChatGPT to make sure everything was kosher. So I have some information here kind of outlining some more stuff that I need, some ideas on what I want to do for IMGUI debugger requirements, and I want to be able to safely display hit data, lightweight information, being able to clear history, and basically invoke damage from the history or hits from the history. I kind of broke it down to everything that I'll need to do over the course of today, tomorrow, whenever, how long it takes to kind of get this going. And just some code snippet examples that we kind of worked on in the meanwhile. So we can go ahead and get started. So what I believe we need to start with first and foremost is our types. So basically our hit data types. So our structs and everything like that. Excuse me. So let's go ahead and get started because we do have like a damage pipeline subsystem. But we do need to add more information in here. So I think we need a pretty lightweight class for these data types. So I guess it could be more or less empty. So let's add it to our appropriate directory here and get started. So systems, damage pipeline. So we'll just do JAC underscore damage pipeline types. Create that class. I don't know why it always opens in a new instance. That's kind of annoying. I don't think we need any sort of constructor or destructor. It's just going to be holding some of our typing here. Let's get rid of this one that we opened. Should be able to add. Should maybe just do it in here too. I don't know. I always forget that you can add stuff through Writer explicitly. Add item pipeline types. Have to do the same thing for the header section, I assume. And system damage pipeline types. Here we go. I don't know. I don't think we need core minimal. We're just gonna ignore that. Yeah, Chesh Devin, how are you? Been a while. Been away for a while. Nice to come back and see non-dummy characters. Yeah, I mean, we're always gonna come back to our dummy. Don't ever forget. Don't forget where you come from, right? So we always got to make sure we can spawn a dummy. So we have a dummy. But we also have this other character that we got off the marketplace that we're going to start using as well. So never forget your roots, But yeah, thanks for coming back, Antush. It's great to see you. Good to hear from you. So today we're going to just be doing damage pipeline stuff. Not sure if you caught the beginning of the stream where I kind of broke down everything in our Figma board about the architecture for the hit stuff. So we're basically going to work on our types. So we have 2 types that we want to work with. We want to work with the explicit hit context and then our hit log entry data, just so we can log things through IMGUI. Eventually, that'll be hopefully something we can try to get done as well. So I don't know if we need explicit class or anything like that. So it might not even need a CPP. In all honesty, I think we just need this for our structs. So let's do that. So I always forget the it's ustruct. Forget the context of these things sometimes. Then blueprint. The example. So struct. Okay, so it doesn't need to open close parentheses. Cool. Needs like at the end kosher. I don't know if it needs a generated U body because we're not gonna make anything U property. But we'll leave it there. So we have a few things. So we need. Oops. The T week object. Not sure. Was it pointer that we said? Oops. T week object pointer. Yeah. Hit target. Hit instigator. So now we need F gameplay tag container. Say hit target tags. That. Gonna do one more. And we're gonna say hit context tags. I don't know if I need to initialize these as null. I'm not sure. But there's our tag containers. I guess we also want to include the optional T week object class, not hit context, but optional source object. I can make that null. Let's make everything null by default. There's all that information. Next, we need the hit result. So F hit result. Need a float, I believe. That. Here we got a bot in the chat. Ban. Bye. I think that's everything that we wanted. So source object, hit result, additional tag. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 parameters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. All good. And then we need another one for the IAM GUI, which we have kind of an example here that we can kind of pull from. That. I don't know if I want to explicitly copy paste it into this thing. I kind of want to type it all out. So there's things that is mentioning that we kind of work through with ChatGPT. You're talking about damage numbers and everything like that. I don't want to care about that just yet. So what we need to do is pass in. We need FGUID for the instigator and the target. So hit target ID. and instigator UID. We'll also want to construct the GUID probably. Probably not. I guess it could just be a unsigned int here. So hit ID. Oh, yeah, float timestamp. F strings for the name. So hit target name. Name class as well. That. And then you don't need too much information about. I guess we can also timestamp the tags and everything. And then what parts of the hit result do we really like? I would assume we would want as much data about the hit result as we can get. So we can also just snapshot the hit result. I think that's kosher. I think that might be everything we need. Like we can also just generate the documentation there. It's always fun to see how it works. Okay, so now in our pipeline. So again, I don't think we need this at all, but let's leave it. And let's actually try to compile this. Let's just make sure that's all Gucci. And then we can start integrating our callbacks. I don't know, define in here. But one thing at a time. So no dice, so missing type specifier into assumed. Missing type specifier. Okay, so do I need to include actor? Not sure what I could potentially be missing. So status struct is not a member. It's there, so it's an issue that it's generated body. Does it have to be generated new body? Or I always forget. Like sometimes this breaks anytime I try to make a struct. So error expected a generated. All right, so it is expecting it. Well, let's see what the dealio is. I always like it's always something simple from my memory. Yeah. It has to be blueprint type. True. Let's try it. I think it's also because I'm missing the generated. Also because I'm missing like the class structure. So if I were to do like hashtag include and then let's see. So error, file name is missing. So double quotes, it looks like. Let's see. So far, it's going a little longer than usual, so that's either a good thing or a bad thing. Okay, so we got it. Cool. So we just needed to make sure we got the generated.h. So now, again, I'm fairly certain it might be a better place to just put it into the damage pipeline types. My delegate signatures and any sort of enums. Let's do that next. Okay, so we compiled. Let's just knock that out. So now let's do an enum. Suggest do enum and type. Just enum and then e hit and type. So do on hit save hit okay. That seems kosher. Now let's do our delegates. Gil Game Dev. Good morning. Good morning to you. Is it Gil or Jill? It's probably Gil. But good morning to you. How's it going? Thanks for popping in. Now let's make our delegates. And I always fuck up with the signature, but the delegates I know I want to pass in, or so we want it to take in, I guess, an actor, and we want to pass in the type. No. I know, like, all right, so we want the actor to be associated with it, and we know we want it to kind of pass back the hit context data and everything like that. Tired but good. So you're currently implementing a damage system with gas. Yeah, starting with the, not the. Well, I technically have damage already working, but I want to make it a little bit robust and separate it out from gas a little bit. So I'm working on our hit structures and our hit debugging structures and basically got to create our delegates and callbacks and everything like that. That's what we're currently working on. So now I'm trying to think about how the signature of the delegate should be. I think it potentially should just kind of should just have, I guess, the return the hit info. I guess the F hit context. So, and again, I don't remember the signature here. I don't know if it has to be a multicast delegate. So dynamic multicast delegate, and I think it has to be one param. And the one param has got to be the F hit context. I'm pretty sure. Well, I guess it's got to be two params. Like the no, it's got to be one, and it's just got to be the F hit context. I gotta look up again the signature, not signature. Syntax for clear multicast delegate. So delegate. Okay, so delegate name. So we want to be so on hit applied. Let's give it the name. Parameter type. It's going to be now F hit context. Like that. So is that the name I did? F hit context. Yeah. Okay. Is it because this delegate is happening before the declaration here? Does that make it better? Yeah, it does. Okay. Um, F on hit applied. And then the other one is on hit received. Should be enough. But now, in theory, I should be able to go into my damage pipeline. Should be able to include the damage pipeline types. Should be able to make functions that allow me to bind to those delegates, right? So, but again, I don't remember well um, if I need to have in the bindings the actor as well. I might. We'll have to see. So this one's gonna be I don't know if it needs to be a bool or not. I'll just do a void for the time being. So void. Bind to on hit event. I will pass in T weak object pointer actor. Hit that type. I think I need to have a parameter for like the binding of it. That's what we'll do. Callable category damage pipeline. Sure. fairly certain I also need. So what's wrong? So function parameter expected name. Oh yeah. Category. So TWEA is not supported by Blueprint. Okay. So I guess it doesn't have to be a T-weak object pointer. I guess it could just be an actor. Fairly certain I have to do this like delegate type, but I'm not sure how to use or how to add a delegate, like a bindable delegate parameter. Let's see. Get that information. So F your delegate type incomplete, display name. Okay. Let's see if I get any problems here. Oh, it's gonna complain because I didn't. Do I have to also include it here? Ban. I wonder. Maybe I don't need to have two delegates. I think it's got to be something like that, right? So what's wrong now? So F on it's not supported by Blueprint function. Okay. Why not? I always do stuff. So the problem is that dynamic delegates cannot directly pass custom structs by value in blueprints. Okay, so it's just okay. Change TE weak object pointer a actor to just a actor. Okay, so it's just not liking what I'm doing here. So F on. Let's get this in writing with the error here. No likey. Let's see. Boo, 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 boo. See if we can get some answers online. Let's give it. So they're saying Unreal does not allow passing a dynamic multicast delegates as parameters to blueprint callable functions. Interface callback. I mean, there has to be a way. To basically expose the delegate out in this function. Yeah, I want to register. Essentially, I want to expose it. Are you just use struct blueprint type on F hit on applied? I don't think so because it's a delegate. I don't think it's not really a struct. The structs are up here. I only have blueprint type for F hit context and on the logging type. So it doesn't like this part, right? Yeah. So I basically want to expose, like maybe I have to. Um, I remember. I have to make some sort of binding. Not like this, right? So F on hit applied. This is not like that. So how to expose delegate callback to BP exposed function? To expose a delegate as a callback parameter in a blueprint callable function, you need to use specific ufunction specifiers. Okay. I mean, that's what I did, right? To avoid bind on hit event, actor. I mean, do I just not have to do this param thing? No, it still doesn't like it. The delegate itself must be declared as declare dynamic multiclass delegate. So is that what I'm doing? Declare dynamic multicast delegate. Yeah. The U function has to be protocol. The delegate parameter is passed directly. Alternative using events more common pattern. What's this? So auto create ref term. Does this work? Let's just throw it in. No, still doesn't like it. Usually you make delegates as a blueprint assignable member var, not as functional input param. Usually you make delegates as blueprint assignable member var. I mean, is there examples of this online? Yep, I'm also pretty sure I had to make it a U property. So like this, like in here. Not sure where the U property would go. Usually you make delegates as blueprint assignment var, not as functional input. Okay, so you're referring to doing something like this, right? I basically want to have an exposed blueprint function that lets you listen to delegates. So you create the binding within blueprints. So you just tell it, hey, listen to this event, give me the delegate back in blueprints, and just have it basically listen. Let's see if there's any information. I've seen it before because I'm seeing examples where it's passing a like f name function name. Let's see, foundation, self, blah, blah, so declare delegate, blah, blah. When it's a dynamic, it's blueprint exposed. You can use PP assigned property plus function just as a marker signal that mentioned property now should be enabled, though it's not exposed to connection, so it might be error prone. Blah, blah, blah. Not const. Blah, 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 blah. Hmm. Yeah, I'm not too sure what you guys were really referring to. I'm pretty stupid here. So a class field cannot be used as a type. Yeah. I guess we two are referring to two different things. Maybe? Not sure. Let me just make sure this can compile, and I'll kind of explain to you what I'm trying to get done in blueprints. The high level goal is to be able to call a blueprint function, and that function lets you bind back to the delegate. So basically, this function says, okay, pass this actor in, give me the callbacks for when it's either hit or when it applies a hit. I actually don't think you'll be able to do so. Basically, you're trying to create a blueprint function that accepts a delegate, but I'm not sure you'll be able to pass it on PPs. Am I wrong? I've seen it done before. I don't know if it's custom engine stuff that was accomplished for it, but I've seen what I'm trying to accomplish. Let's see. So yeah, for example, melee, it was just melee base. Pipeline. And there's basically like bind. So there is bind event to on hit applied, and then there's a function here, right? And basically, I want to pass in the actor, the type, and then there will be like a delegate bind. So it would have also this. So event delegate by ref, like this kind of thing. And you would be able to just kind of bind to it to the appropriate signature. You know what I mean? So this would be also here. You know, that's all that I'm really trying to accomplish. And so you could, you know, technically have it here, right? And it's like a delegate, you know. I've seen that done before. Yeah, but maybe it's like an uphill battle or something. So I'm sure I already have that somewhere. If you don't get it solved, I'll turn on my other PC and take a look. Yeah, sure. I'm always down for that kind of help. Like, can I have anything here? So there is like there's a state tree delegate dispatcher. That's a thing. But yeah, it's not really anything. It's a struct. I can always just use these binds directly. You know what I mean? Not the end of the world. So the signature would also just have to take in. So the signature would have on hit applied and then on hit received. And it would just kind of pass in the data that way, which is not a big deal. So it would have to be 2 param. No. Da, 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 da. So I guess I don't really need this one. But that's just weird. Like, unless there's some like magic that I don't know about. I thought this was possible. Basically, essentially function like this, right? Kind of function like the event dispatcher. More or less like a bind. So K2 node add delegate, right? Maybe I can find that. K2 add delegate. A lot of stuff I don't understand happening here as well. Blueprint graph API, property name. blueprint graph, API, function, delegate signature, authority only. Do both of these. F on hit saved. Saved. We don't need these functions. But we definitely need some sort of thing here. We need to basically broadcast when this stuff happens, right? So we need to do I don't know if it has to be a boolean or not. We'll do a bool. So bool be it's gotta be a U function though. U function callable bool on, on hit gotta take in an F hit context. Oh, I'm gonna say callback. Oh, that should be good enough. Both. Then I mean, maybe I don't need to uh have two events. Maybe I could just do on hit event. Then what can I say here? So yeah, return false. But then I would say like so if hit context dot hit target, probably want to make our own damage pipeline category as well. So forget how to do the category stuff. I think it's in my melee trace subsystem. Could be in settings or go. Oh, good. Now, do is it UE? Really? Log. Is it? Not log error? error. And just say hit target valid. Ba, 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 ba. I also wonder, I guess if it's not valid, if we want to broadcast or not. We'll find out, but let's do one thing at a time. So if not hit context dot hit instigator valid thing, but should be fine. I think those are the two major points that we want to make sure are valid. Because everything else, there's source object, timestamps, and gameplay tag containers and everything like that. So you should be able to say, I guess at this point return true, but we should be able to say hit context dot hit instigator. No, it should be what? On hit received callback dot broadcast. It needs to be hit context dot hit instigator. Yeah, don't I also have to pass in the hit context? Function has one parameter. Oh, let's look. On hit received. Go. Then on hit applied. Broadcast. So I got this basically backwards. So on hit received, send that. Believe that's valid. So now, let's just make sure we can compile that. Fingers crossed, boys. Because once that's done, we then need to go into our melee trace subsystem and basically broadcast this on hit event. That compiled, awesome. So yeah, let's go into our subsystem here. This could be towards the bottom, I believe. A lot of this stuff is debugging, going, processing. So we eventually get this is where we need to get our damage pipeline subsystem. everything should still be alive. So something changed. Our settings. Your preferences. Game gets. Did anything else change? I think a lot of stuff changed. What happened? Project settings, editor preferences. Oh, animation open. Ah, is this? I kind of had to reset it. Is this better? I'm assuming this is better, but let me know. Sorry, guys. Let's see. Actually, all sounds event system ones. Okay. I will reset that one as well. Hopefully that's better. Output log, I also have to update. Now we always now we gotta go through everything and adjust everything. Damn. Just had a look at my other PC and I used the delegate in a simple blueprint function library, but couldn't see any big difference to your implementation apart from the stuff I mentioned earlier and you already tried. Interesting. Okay. It's not the end of the world. So let's go into our melee base. Go on, hit applied delegate callback, right? Yeah, so it does. Yeah, so that's my first problem here. Looks like Streamlabs left. Try to restart stream to fix sound. Well, you guys don't really need to hear the computer audio. As long as are you hearing the mic okay? Yeah, so this is still the problem where the on hit applied delegate callback. So this is essentially wrong. Like I need the actor to broadcast it, not pipeline. I don't know if that means it has to be part of like a static library. Oh, maybe his chat froze as well. Sorry for the mess. The stream is shitting itself. We're going too powerful. So yeah, I don't really want to return the listener. I want to just have the out context. So I want to bind so the target not being that. Gotta figure out what we're doing. On YouTube, there's still sound. That's good. But, yeah. Not sure. Maybe it's because I'm doing too much at one time. Kind of lost. Trying to think what could be going on. It works? Okay, cool. Maybe it's a prank. I don't know. But essentially, like, I don't want the target to be. I don't want the damage pipeline to do that. I want the actor itself. So, like, for example, like, get character, right? I think I have a helper function, right? This is where I would want to basically say, like, bind on hit applied, right? So do I have to make this delegate like on the actor level or the character level? It has to have this kind of delegate? Like, do I have to put on like the base class? For example, like a gas course character. I have to have this kind of delegate signature. Maybe. This cog sample shit I should get rid of at some point. Yeah, but maybe it has to exist on this layer. That's so weird. Maybe I just not know what I'm doing. uh, yeah, there's the interface that's possible, but the target would have to be actor. It's like essentially again, I don't want the damage pipeline subsystem to do the binding, right? I would want it to be the actor. So I would have to like maybe also make the same delegate callbacks or something. Something to that effect. And then I would do like hit context dot hit actor dot or hit target dot get I would have to cast that too. I would also have to do all this casting that I don't want to do. Maybe that's okay. Bind to Event is a UK to Elegant O, which has a lot of stuff under the hood, so I guess your challenge is more complex than it looks. Yeah, I'm not going to bother with that. Maybe I can just say, so if, so was it like a gas force character, target character, dot on hit broadcast, and at this point it can just be hit context. So I think the delegates be one param again. More or less that. I can take this out, so I can just do hit context. Don't want to return true right away. So then I could do if a gas character, instigator character, then I could just do instigator character on hit applied, called back, broadcast like that. In theory, in our melee trace subsystem, I could say, no, I'm gonna just not get any callbacks anymore. I need damage types as well here. So game, system damage, find types. Actually, no, I don't need damage types. I need actual subsystem. Then I need to how to access subsystem. I don't know if I have to use either the instigator or just be able to get it from the world, right? Yeah, I'm just kind of to 1 here. Then I should be able to do damage subsystem on hit. Yeah. Remember is inaccessible. Okay. I also have to make an F hit context. And then I could do hit context. dot hit target equals source object equals null. Boom, boom, boom. Then context dot hit context hit target task container equals text. That and then how do I get access to the time? Frame time. That's from world. Okay. Oh. In theory, that should be okay. Let's see if that even compiles. We'll definitely see some things break, which is fine. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Like, I thought it was possible to have an exposed delegate. It's not working. So use a delegate parameter struct. Advanced pattern. If you need to simulate a callback parameter, wrap the delegate in a U struct that's marked blueprint type. Maybe that could work. We'll try that too. Hello, I really enjoy watching your stream. The atmosphere is fantastic. Okay, that's just kick stuff. Okay, ignore you. So we should be able to now say, get character, assign, hit, applied delegate, and we got the context. So, in theory, we should be able to get some information. We'll bind at the beginning. We'll always have to remember to unbind as well. Maybe we would have to make like an ability task or something as well. but we'll see. Because maybe that'll be worth it too, to make an ability wrapper for myself. And then we get broadcast. So let's put a print string that just says hit. So obviously we're not going to get any of this fancy mumbo jumbo anymore because we're not getting that gameplay callback. So let's just see if we even get to that point. Let's see if we get that print string. So we're going to go like that. So we do get a hit. Hit, hit, hit. So awesome. So in theory, we should be able to connect this down here and refactor this a little bit. So just to kind of prove that, so instead of doing, so let's move and clean up this signature here. We're gonna go boom, 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 boom. So event dispatcher, do onto defined callback event, blah, blah, bam, bam, bam. We should be able to break this. Okay, so we can't. And it's because, why? Is it because we have to make a blueprint type rather than blueprint full? I think it has to be blueprintable, honestly. And this, I don't think needs to be blueprint at all. Let's see if that makes a difference for us. So once we kind of come back to square one in terms of having our functionality there, I want to try to see if I can do this actual struct wrapper as well. Today we're going to be streaming for quite a little bit just because I have this week off for myself. It's my birthday week, so wanted to work on my project for a few more hours than usual, see if we can power through some of the systems here. So we'll probably go for another hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. So okay. Now in theory we should be able to now break this. Still no. Why? Oh, it's just because it was the blueprint type. They all have to be U property? Damn. Okay. Do that then. Third time's the charm. Okay, let's see. Moment of truth. Luckily, still things are pretty valid here. Okay, things are good. Take that out. Do variable out hit context. Do like that. So now I don't need to really target data. I can just pass in through this because I have hit results. So we'll see if that works. We have instigator, hit target. That should be everything. So let's see if we got any issues. So we'll go ahead. All good still. Just not really getting damage numbers. We got out hit context data. We got this again here because we're applying damage. So we need instigator. I make a target handle. I may also make a target handle. Hopefully that should still be okay. Let's see where else we're having hit data by name. Nowhere. Great. Edit. Delete. Okay. Where is this hit data? Oh, maybe it's in the children. Probably. Once Unreal gives me control back. Hold. So there's melee on hit 1. I'm going to do a big factor here. That's going to be annoying, but okay. Are we supering in the beginning? This looks gross too. Let's see. Let's just confirm we get the damage number. On. Do, and it looks fine. Great. Yeah, this whole melee ability I think needs to be cleaned up. Love you, bro. No homo. Brother, can you make videos about the business side of things? I think it'd be climactic in this climate. So I don't have any information about the business side of things. Sorry, I can't really talk to that too much. Hey, Luna Frost, how's it going? How are you? I'm good. You know, just chilling, working on stuff. Trying to make a dent in some of our backlog stuff. How are you? Hope you're doing good. So I think we need to new function here, or event, I should say, custom event. So find to hit find event. That. that. Clean that up a little bit. Again, I'm gonna have to. Maybe I shouldn't really. Whoop. Maybe I really shouldn't push this refactor too hard at the moment. Big sad. That's how it is, man. Sometimes it's just a big sad. And maybe this should be in like the base class 2 in the gameplay ability. Actually, my headphones are broken, so please talk in chat. Sorry, not gonna do that. Too busy. So, okay. So let's see if we can actually get this kind of delicate struct that I was referring to earlier within our damage pipeline. I don't know if it needs to be within damage pipeline types, but we'll have to see. Let's try. So if I were to, in theory, do ustruct, blueprint type, struct f on hit event wrapper. Body, view property. And then just be what? So F on hit applied. These have to go here. Maybe that'd be good. So let's try. So now we have a damage system here. Let us do another function. Pipeline, we could do void. Hit. And you can just kind of literally be this off on the event wrapper. Let's see if we get that. Okay. So just responding to people on kick. So I've had this situation before too. People are asking me to type in chat, but only on people on kick. So I feel like that's like a bot maneuver. So I'm not gonna really give that any more attention. So let's see. So let's see if I get this delegate that I'm thinking of. From your experience, which role is more desirable between character modeling or environment creation? Some says it's character due to the sheer assets you can use to create an environment. Not too sure, honestly. Like, both are very valuable. Depends on your game, really. If your game is character focused, then you want to have a character artist. But if you're more about ambience and environment, then you want an environment artist. Hey DXR, how's it going? Thanks for popping in. Luna says, by the way, I wanted to ask if I can make some artwork for your channel, if you don't mind. I don't want anyone creating anything for my channel at the moment, but much appreciated. That's on hit event, and then this is on hit. Still not what I wanted. Oh, I guess this has to be. I want to see if this will work. Okay, we're not interested in any artwork, and if you want to join our Discord, feel free. Here's the link. Hopefully that will work. But again, I'm not interested in any artwork. I don't want to have anyone working for this channel in that kind of capacity. But thank you, though. Please check my work. No, I'm not gonna check any work. No, thank you. No, thank you. You know, just trying to live my life at the moment. I don't want to have to deal with anybody's artwork at the moment. The struggle, I know. So here is this. So there's that. But then can I split it? No. And it doesn't look like this is valid either. So that didn't work like I had hoped. So let's do some cleanup. I don't know if I want to make this blueprint callable. I probably want to make like a blueprint function though. Right there. Thank you. To the kick. Oh, thank you. So on hit event. So I want to say. Yeah, probably this doesn't have to be blueprint callable. And then maybe there is maybe a function saying the bool. I don't know if that's to be a U function anywhere, but let's just make it a U function to be safe. This one could be blueprint callable. Pipeline. Yeah, you know, I respect the hustle. You know, people want free promo, people want to collaborate, but you know, it's not my thing at the moment. should be okay. It can be made const. Let's do that. Const. This will probably also be const. Okay. Should be able to try to compile that again. This should be enough, but then, yeah, I have a bunch of blueprint libraries. And in here I have the ASC blueprint library, which is where I'm doing a lot of my damage. But I should probably make like a damage pipeline static library. Not too much work, honestly. It's just trying to get proper hit callback data and events and making sure they can be constructed in different places. So having that blueprint support. And maybe that could be moved. Do you think creating an RTS will be a bit more complicated? I don't think so. It really also depends if your RTS will be multiplayer, because multiplayer will be the aspect of it that will add the complexity, honestly. Because, you know, an RTS will require some sort of a damage system, some way to just, you know, display attributes, some way of granting abilities, some way of, you know, dynamically applying gear or itemization and having those affect certain things like other attributes and things like that. So I don't think it's more complicated, but it's going to be pretty complicated. So yeah, we have our on hit. Let me just also make sure. Should be able. Again, this is probably why I want to make it in a static library. Maybe that'll be the next thing I do. Do we know a good example of RTS using UE? I think there's one coming out. Well, if you want to count Paragon, but it's not really. It's like more of an Overwatchy mix of like. Yeah, it's not. Paragon's not a good example, but. And I guess the other example I have in my head is probably not a good example either. Because I was trying to think of the. Because they're when I'm thinking RTS, I think of like MOBA, but I'm probably wrong. So, but Stormgate apparently is one. I'm not familiar with that game. But it's not very popular. 6 out of 10. It's free to play, but who knows? And now I have to. So we have the binding on hit, apply delegate callback. But I feel like I should be able to have a redirection where I don't need to have. Maybe it can be like hidden underneath, so that I don't explicitly have to have the delegate. So I don't really like the fact that I have these delegates on the character itself. So I'm not sure if it's possible or not. says it's appropriate. So an actor does not need to store the delegate itself. You just call add dynamic for blueprint save add u object for C plus only on delegate owned by another object. Okay. So sys do something add dynamic. No U property needed on the actor. Lifetime save. Works in GPU C++. Make binding clearer. So it's giving a possible example of what I'm looking for. I think I'm getting ChatGPT to do what I want to do. What I'm prompting it. Oh, it's still just giving me it as an F name. Boom, 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 boom. I need to do all of this. Is a include. I wonder if it's true or not. Hash include target finding helper. Oh, okay. So that's not actually a real thing. Okay, that's just telling me what I should be adding it. So I'll be able to do this. This is a blueprintable thing. Doesn't seem like this is what I want either. Okay. I think I'm just fighting the inevitable. So we more or less have what we want. So on event wrapper, we don't need either. We can get rid of all that. Shouldn't be anything left behind here. Function could be made static. I think this one could be made static, honestly. Do they both have to be static? Does it have to be in the header? Probably. Static. Oh, sure. I guess this has to be a static, right? I guess this is where I would maybe want to make this into its own function library. So yeah, for now I won't make these static because I want to make a function library for it. I got myself real quick. Oh. Sitting down a little too long. All right. We have our hit delegate callback. And possibly, like, I could potentially clean this up and make this stuff in, like, C++. So, like, maybe my base ability class can have these already bound and stuff. So you could just literally have the event callbacks to listen for them. Maybe that's okay. But we at least have our hit, right? We can clean this up as well. We should be able to find our hit. So instead of this one, we say let event on hit. Target handle. Result. You're emitting so much wisdom. I don't think so, but thanks. Yeah, we're gonna have to also pass in stuff here. Hit result. Did I pass it in correctly here too? No. Damage type stuff. We'll have to figure that out later. That. Inherited variables. Hit data. Okay, not found. This should be good to delete. Should be not visible, right? Bam. So cool. So yeah, now we're not getting those instances of me getting hit while I'm having that window open. So that's all good. And just the heavy attack work. Oh. You get dead? Yeah, 10. So whooping. Oh, still good. I'm glad you're hopefully you're learning something, or I know I struggle a lot. I try to move away from blueprints as much as I can just because I'm pretty comfortable in that system, so I'm trying to leave my comfort zone as much as possible. So I hope you're learning. It's appreciated. Now I should be able to. So in theory, I could also say send. I have to get the damage pipeline thing. So damage pipeline. Send hit request. So in theory, I should get an infinite loop or a crash of some sort. Yes. Great. So we know that's also working because we know we're kind of looping back into itself and everything like that. So that's great. See now. Should be. I'm pretty sure there is a way so that I don't have to do this, right? So bind to system delegate. So in theory, like the delegate itself might not need to be exposed to blueprints necessarily. I'll make binding cleaner. Do this. I could do this in here, maybe. Maybe it could be the base of my opened up a writer instance. I terminate, please. Oh god, it's closed that to everything. All right, I'm gonna reopen that. I'll be back in just a few minutes, guys. I'm back, and it looks like I didn't even open up Writer, so my bad. So yeah, we've been streaming for a good while now, though. We'll probably want to end soon. Let me get my phone real quick. We'll wait for Ryder to kind of come back to life. And then, yeah, we're going to have to... So I've been full BP until last month, just started diving deep into CPP. Watching you switch between BP and CP++ is super inspiring because on my side I'm full CP. Love seeing how your logic flows. I'm more into AI and optimization myself. Catch you later. All right, well, catch you later as well, man. Good luck with your project. Always stop by, feel welcome. I'm more player-focused side stuff, so with our powers combined, we can make a good game, maybe. But yeah, enjoy your day. Thanks again for popping in. Well, again, we're gonna have to just wait for this to do its thing. So let's see. We should be able to go into our base ability, I assume. Right, this is our melee ability, which derives from instant gameplay ability, which comes from gameplay ability. We should be able to have some callbacks here. I just gotta remember the signature. So the signature itself, do function and open callable pipeline. In theory, it should be probably also on. I don't know if we'll ever want to do it, but maybe we do. But it doesn't. I don't know if it shouldn't be this one. It should be like blueprint. Is it native event? And I want it to be on ability, but on give ability, right? And I want to do the same thing for where I did on my melee traces, get an access to the world subsystem. So around here, something like this. That include it. Now, should be able to find. Be able to guess it. Have these in. So there's these delicate callbacks, right? On hit applied. Is it because they're not public? Now it's you ability. You a gameplay ability. This isn't right. It's on hit context. Also wrong. So let's just try to compile that and we'll see what's up. Failed for sure. So can I convert argument 2? Okay, so what are my arguments? Not much. Let's see. So it's because it's const, okay. Classic mistake. So I should be able to do that. I'll also have to unbind eventually. Where is that logic? Here. The method is not marked with you functioning back. It is. Let's just see if it complains again about it. Seems like it's fine with that. So in theory, I should be able to, hopefully, say, so on hit applied would be like if hit context dot hit instigator dot get equals, then I would just call on hit applied hit context. Same thing here. If hit context dot hit target get equals this on hit execute. That should be okay. So let's compile that and let's see if we get what we're expecting, which I'm hoping is just native events inside of these abilities now that will have these kind of callbacks within them. Same thing. Okay, moment of truth, maybe. And then I'll also have to make sure I unbind on end ability. Okay, let's go into clear melee face. Should be, so basically, so we would have on hit applied. So in theory, so create event signature, yeah, that's all fine. Should see no difference. Okay, and we get a crash. So on give ability. Okay. We're also failing this. So that's good to know. Let's actually get the full crash report. Got ourselves a kitty in the house. I'm assuming the first thing we'll get is an melee base. Okay, let's clean that. Did I not save that when I got rid of? Yeah. Should get an ensure right away, which I'm assuming we do. So on head of plant implementation function might not be much function. Pending kill. And then we press that and we get a crash like we were expecting. See what the damage is here. Fine. Not sure why it's giving me that. Is it because it's also Blueprint native event? Let me. That seems fine. So maybe on give ability is too early. Yeah, maybe on activate ability is probably better. They're on activate. Try activate. And activate. On give. Activate ability, right? Okay. I should be able to do it here instead. So bam. Again, it doesn't like. Hey Talus, thanks for stopping in. It's going okay. You know, we're slowly putting together our hit events and our delegates and everything and trying to subscribe to them in the appropriate ways. Struggled a little bit, but you know, we're here, we're pushing on. We just gotta, it's like, I guess we have to do a delegate here, so. Now I gotta clean up all our functions here, because yeah, no, it's. Now this is what we have to do. I think we have to do. Function. Blueprint. Implementable event. Say damage pipeline. Let's say void. On hit applied event. That on hit receive. Oh, should be enough. Now I should be able to say on hit event. Hit received event. Should be okay. Let's see. We'll see if we get any insurers or if we get any crashes. We shouldn't. We should be okay. But this will be the ultimate test. Blueprint errors, it seems, which is fine. We should have on hit applied. Shouldn't hopefully crap our pants, so we don't have to do that anymore. Fix melee holds well. That should be okay. This doesn't exist anymore, so on hit applied event here. Okay, good. But yeah, we're not getting anything. So something tells me we're not. But on hit applied, right? So let's. So we're not even getting there. So is it on activate ability? We are getting there. So I think now maybe the issue is in the pipeline. Also not doing it here. So we gotta say on hit apply delegate callback dot broadcast on see. Yeah, so like most likely I could get away with this where it's like an internal thing. We'll have to see. That should fix that. I hope. But I wonder, like, I don't know. I guess like the damage pipeline would always kind of be listening and delegating things out. And maybe it could be up to the listener to like filter what it doesn't need, but maybe unnecessary. Yes, so here we go. Should be good. Oh. So now we have to worry about unbinding, I think. Translate damage, subsystem, move dynamic. Hopefully that's safe. A lot of binding and unbinding when it comes to like the melee attacks and stuff, but maybe that's okay. Especially if it's in C++, maybe that's okay. So we get a problem. Still get a problem. Oopsie. I wonder why it's behaving like that. I guess I could also wait. Maybe just launch it this way real quick. Maybe I'll get a crash report. The second editor could open. This just happened. Okay, so it's not happening, but it happens. So now it doesn't work. What has happened? This failed. So link cannot open file. Is it because I was already loading in? File again. We get this. It's like world not valid. Or do I need to like store it? seems to crash. Let's do it for the U project. I want to see it crash. I want to see the crash report. Is it just complaining? Like literally just about trying to get access to it like this? Do I need to store it? That, and then this. Is it like on endability, like things not valid anymore? Or things are null pointer. Just do safer things here. That'll be good enough. I don't know if I'll need to log this. Essentially, we're gonna just check to see if things are still valid before we try to unbind. And again, I'm not too sure if it's a safer pattern to store the pipeline. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, I don't know. ChatGPT says to like store it too to use it later. Maybe that's fine. Just be sure here. Yeah, still a problem. So maybe we do need to do it that way. New property. Damage pipeline. Okay. Activate ability. If let's see if that will do it. This will be like the last attempt here before we call it a day. I'll have to continue tomorrow. Oh my god. Okay. So recommending here. I don't like that it's a T object pointer. Do I have to include the damage pipeline? Fingers crossed. Moment of truth before we call it a day. Awesome. And do we get the hits? Yes. Okay. Great. And no crash. Awesome. So yeah, that's where I'm going to call it for today. Thank you so much for watching. It's much appreciated. If you haven't already, make sure to join our Discord. Make sure to follow and subscribe on YouTube as well as Twitch. Any support is welcomed and appreciated. We'll come back tomorrow to continue this setup. We have our hits, we have our delegates, and our abilities now. We have binds that we can do on the characters if we need them. Ideally, we'll try to figure out a good way to make things static within a blueprint function library. And then we'll move on, hopefully, to our IM GUI debug. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon.